Saturday morning here at the Beetle Barn. Anyway, I want to play with the old GMC truck today. Just sounds like something fun to do. I didn't have a key, and anyway, I took apart the door handle assembly here. Springs and bits, but anyway, this part here has a, let's see if it'll focus. It has a key code on it right there. And anyway, I took it down to a local hardware store, and lo and behold, they were able to make me a couple keys. So rather than going to a locksmith and all that, being as I had the code, they can cut keys from code there. 2 keys for see, $10, $10.50 or something like that. Anyway, so I got a couple keys, and on these old GMCs they fit both the door and the ignition. So I have a key now, so I'll put my door handle back together and everything, put it back. Sunday out here at the Beetle Barn, and it's the 25th of August, and had company yesterday. Got all sidetracked. I bought points, condenser cap, rotor wires, all that good stuff for this old truck, and haven't installed all that yet. But it wasn't revving, and so I was looking at the carburetor here and noticed that the accelerator pump wasn't functioning. Took it all apart. It's all pretty clean in there. The accelerator pump is actually a leather cup, and I think it's swollen up and just bound up in there or something. I've taken it all apart and cleaned all the orifices, everything, and but I just can't get that leather cup to slide up and down in its place there, and I think it's just swollen up and tight, and the spring doesn't have enough oomph to give it a push. So I'm gonna have to sort that out. Well, here's that carb, and anyway, it's a Bendix carburetor, 2-barrel, and top of it, and the other bits are over here. I don't know if that's in the picture or not, but anyway, problem with this thing is this accelerator pump down inside there. It was really tight. It's still a little bit sticky. It's got this leather cup here, and I think it's just swollen up with age or something. And also when I ran down in here, I could feel there was a little bit of buildup down in there that the carb cleaner wasn't taken out of there. So what I did to get rid of that, made myself a hone, so to speak. Basically, it's 800 paper just taped to a long screw, and I put it in my variable speed drill. You can see I have a thin strip here because that's where I wanted to work, was way down at the bottom, so it's a little thicker there. But anyway, and then just wind it up and drop it down in there and turn it, and it works like a hone. And I use super low speed and check, and low speed and check, so I didn't hurt it any. And it seems to have cleaned most of the stuff out of there. And this plunger now works down in the bottom part of it, down in this area, and it's still sticky. The way it works, this one works. This spring here goes on the shaft, and it's got a washer and stuff that fits up under the cap on the top side of the carburetor. So basically, when you hit the accelerator, there's an arm that drops down on the rod, and then this spring that's in here is supposed to push that plunger down. And then when you let off the throttle, it lifts back up on a keeper. So anyway, this spring is supposed to be able to push that down, this tension, and it's still not doing it. So I still got to clean it up. I noticed that Rochester kit that I had has a rubber cup that's just the right size, but I can't figure out how to get this apart. And I don't want to wreck what I've got. So I thought maybe this little cap was threaded on the end, but I can't get it to unscrew, and I'm not going to force things and wreck what I've got. So I'm just going to continue to try and clean and see if I can get it to slide in there down in the bottom of this hole fairly easily, and allow this spring to work. I've got that freed up in there now, and actually all I ended up doing was trying some of this stuff. It's actually one of my favorite products. This probably isn't the correct application. Jason, friend of mine, he's been on a couple videos. He gave me this stuff. I was rebuilding a big pump at work, and anyway, I needed some Seal Glide to pre-lubricate the part of the seal that was it's a ceramic type deal. You got to keep the lubricants off of certain parts, but anyway, the rubber part basically just seals when you first turn the pump on until the water hits it, and then everything's good. But I needed some of this, and I've used it on a few other applications, but I put a little thin bit on that little cup in there, and in fact it slides really well now. Whether or not when the fuel hits it and it all cleans off it's going to continue remains to be seen, but I'm really happy with that. I figured I'd show this. I got this carburetor back together. Anyway, of course it's going to rain now, and I got to go out there and work on this, but oh well. Anyway, what we have here is in the rest position. The rod is up, and then when you give it throttle, that spring is now able to make that pump move, and it did not move before. So I'm thinking that's why we weren't able to accelerate it. Anyway, it works good now, and so I'm thinking it'll be alright. The choke on this guy is broken. The little arm here, I don't know what it's supposed to look like. It's a manual choke that you pull the cable, which steps up the throttle a little bit, you know, your fast idle, and it's supposed to, of course, work the choke here, and it doesn't. This little arm is busted off of here, so I'll have to figure out what it's supposed to look like and how it's supposed to work. And then, you know, you push back on the choke cable. It clamps in here, and the wire feeds through here. This is choke, but it no longer activates the actual choke, and it looks like it's been broken a long time, so I don't know. Apparently my uncle wasn't worried about it, so maybe it starts without the choke. Anyway, something to look at in the future. But for now, I think it's going to run. I've had this filter off of here. It's got one of the little stone filters in there, and it's like brand new. It has an inline filter here as well. Like I said, there was no crud inside this carburetor. It was all just, you know, old nasty gas. So anyway, I guess I'll have to brave the elements here and go out and put this thing on. Here you go. Welcome to late August in Oregon. The only thing about rain here, VW Darren gets it daily down south, but at least it's warm. Here, it's cold. I mean, we're maybe 60. It's pretty chilly out right now. Oregon rain is not warm. So, anyway, I gotta go out there. Yippee. Well, I decided that's BS. I ain't going out in that stuff. So, I have other projects. I think I'll go out and grab one of those spares out of the back of that truck on one of the factory wheels, bring it in here, and go ahead and put one of my other tires on it where I don't have to be out in that stuff. So that's what I'm going to do.